y'all, welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to make an impromptu video tonight and ask you guys a question. Have you ever felt like this, to where like you're kind of in a funk and the same routine day in, day out, and can't get out of it? How did you get out of it? Because I'm struggling. So if you watched one of my other videos, I kind of went into, well, I didn't go into detail, but my husband and I had our grandson from the time he was born until he was a year and a half old. And it was just me and him. We don't have family here to help take care of, a child, or to help around the house or anything like that. It's just me and him. And his family lives in South Florida, and my family lives in Alabama. And so Ty's daughter got pregnant, had a baby. She and the wannabe dad both use drugs, and they are both violent people. The dad is not really the dad, it's just who she wanted to be with, and thought letting him put his name on the birth certificate was the way to do that. Long story short, they were involved with Jace's care for about 3 days. And then after that, it was just me and Ty. So mama and baby tested positive for drugs in the hospital. And so that's how DCF got involved, and that's how we came to have Jace. Which we did willingly, but we also did knowing that, or stating to DCF that we probably would not be able to do it for longer than 6 months. And in saying that, we were kind of hoping that things would move along, like the kids would do what they were supposed to do. They would go to their drug counseling, they would get clean, they would get jobs, and the mom and the baby were welcome to stay with us as long as she needed to get her life together. And then the boyfriend was coming over, and fights were breaking out in our home, and so we ended visitation. Told the wannabe dad he couldn't visit the baby at the house anymore, just because of the violence. Well, then the mama left because she didn't want to be here if he couldn't come here. And as time went on, they weren't going to their drug counseling. They weren't being drug tested, or they wouldn't show up for the drug testing. Let me put it that way. They weren't doing the things that they were supposed to do, and then they both got into some legal trouble to add on top of all of that, and now they're broke up, and attorneys can't get in touch with them. And so the attorneys can't get in touch with them, and so now termination of parental rights, so TPR is what they call it, has been filed. And so Jace has been in Alabama since, let's see, he went up there the 1st of June of this year, and he's been up there since. And he loves it up there, guys. It wasn't like a traumatic move. He's known them since he was born. And he's with my niece and my brother and his wife. And they all went through the fostering classes and the background checks. So they're his foster family now. And once the TPR thing is done, they're going to move forward with adoption. And so we're happy about that. But for the year and a half that we had Jace, our lives pretty much stopped. And we knew that we didn't want to be raising a child in our mid to late 60s, much less a teenager, when we're that old. And we both have health problems, and so we knew that we wouldn't be able to give Jace the kind of life that he needs And my brother and them have a big house. They have a big yard. And so he has, oh my gosh, he has so much stuff up there. He's got inside toys, outside toys, the ride-along trucks and Jeeps and stuff. And one of them has a remote control for the parents, so, or the adults, so they can drive them through the yard. He absolutely loves that thing. And so anyway, he's doing very well. My problem is, you know, during that year and a half, we stopped doing life at some point, because between him napping and me napping and Ty watching him and napping, we just could never find the time, really, to go out to dinner. The baby was always ready to go to bed by the time he got home, because Ty wouldn't get home until 6 or 6:30. We'd eat dinner around 7 if I had dinner ready by then. And of course, then he had to, you know, the baby had to get a bath. And by that time, it was just, you know, he's ready to go to bed. And so am I. And so we got into a rut where, you know, I work from home, yes. But our productivity expectation stresses me out daily. We have to meet so many points by the end of the week. And if not, we have to give reason of why we didn't. You know, the programs went down, we lost power, I was off of work, you know, whatever. We have to account for those missing points. And so I try to meet the productivity daily. I broke it down to 5 days, which turned out to be 7.9 points. And so I try to meet that 7.9 every single day. And I had that same job when Jace was here. So I would get up, log on, and that's what I do all day. Ty has to actually get up and get dressed and drive to work. So I was the primary caregiver for Jace, which meant I was up with him every 2 hours when he was, you know, bottle fed. If he was sick, I was the one that was up with him. And then there were times where, you know, he would fall asleep in our lap and we couldn't lay him down for nothing. Sorry guys, I gotta switch my arm. He wouldn't let us lay him down for anything. And so we sat up with him all night sometimes. And I found myself getting cranky and irritable and resentful. And this was, you know, it had already been planned that he would go with to live with my brother and my niece and the rest of the family. I got sick up there last summer in July. It was over July 4th weekend. And my parents are elderly. And, yeah, I have a sister who was there also. But they had a really big dog, and she didn't have anywhere for the baby to sleep. Katie has nieces and nephews, so she already had the bed and that sort of thing. And so she took his diaper bag and took him up to her house, and she kept him for me while I was sick. I was sick for like 3 days. And she just fell in love with him. And I got to talking to the family over the weekend before I went back home. And, you know, Katie, my niece, and my brother spoke up and said, we would love to foster him. You know, what do we need to do to become a foster family? So that's how that happened. And so now that he's up there, it seems like we're still doing the same thing. You know, we get up, I log on to work, he drives into work, he comes home about 6, and I try to log off no later than 5:30, so I can make dinner and have dinner ready for him when he comes home. And then we eat around 6:30. And then we are in our recliners. We've got like a double recliner, love seat recliner. And we're either watching TV or we're on our phones or iPads, you know, playing games. And I mean, we still have conversation. We don't sit there and ignore each other or anything like that. But it's just, it seems like it's the same thing over and over every single day. And, we stay up till almost 11, sometime around 11 o'clock, and get up and do the same thing the next day. And, I have been in a kind of a funk for a little bit. I need to reorganize my house because I've just started putting stuff, shoving something here, putting something there, instead of actually finding a place for it, you know what I mean? And my health is, I've got to start paying attention to my health. The last time I went to my doctor was last November, and he ordered blood work and a heart monitor, and I never went back. And it's just because the times that I was off of work, I was taking off of work because Jace was sick, or Jace needed to go to the doctor, or Jace had visitation, or, something. There was always some reason why I was having to take time off for him, and so I couldn't see myself taking a day off to go to the doctor when I wasn't sick, if that makes sense. So I just never went back. So my husband, he and I see the same doctor. So when he went the other day, he picked up the lab work order, and I'm going to go have that done. I think it's November the 11th. And they're fasting labs. So the earliest I could get was 10:30, and the 11th was the soonest for anything before noon. I wanted to start walking to try to lose some weight. I'm 265 pounds, and my goal is to lose 100 pounds. So I'm 5'7", so if I lose 100 pounds, I will still look healthy. And I was going to start doing that by walking. And when we were on our cruise, y'all, my hip started hurting really bad. It had been hurting prior to that. If I'm up a lot on it, if I'm standing up at the stove cooking, my hip would just start hurting. Now, I couldn't figure out, I thought I had slept wrong on it, slept funny. And so I just got around to going to get it x-rayed last week. And it's not actually my hip, it's my lower back. And so, you have your vertebra, and on each side there's a little hole in it where the nerves run through it. Well, that little hole has gotten really tiny, and so it's putting pressure on those nerves, and it's causing sciatica is what it is. And so they ordered an MRI, and I go for that on November the 5th. So now I have appointments on the 5th. I've got an appointment on the 11th, and I'll probably call the doctor's office back tomorrow and get an appointment for the 11th or 12th. To see my daughter. They draw the blood in the same building as him, so it's very convenient. So I'll go get that done. I have a broke tooth in my mouth. I need to. It's had a root canal in it, so it's not painful. But I need to have that taken out, so I've got to do that. So it's just all these things that I let go because I feel like I'm stuck in a rut, and I know that doesn't make any sense. But I don't go get my hair done anymore. I don't go get my nails done. I don't get a pedicure. I don't go to the doctor. And a lot of the vanity stuff is, because we're always broke. I mean, we make good money. I make just under 73 a year. He makes just under 72 a year. And so there's no reason really for us to be broke, and we can't figure out what we're doing wrong. And, by the time we pay the rent and the car payments and the insurance payments and the credit card payments and buy the groceries, it's like, holy crap, where's the money going? I mean, this is ridiculous. And, I know a lot of it is the rent. Our rent here in Tallahassee, this is a college town, and the rent here is absolutely ridiculous. The utilities are all combined, and they make it really difficult for you to kind of follow what everything is, because it's all wrapped up into one, and that's usually about $500 a month. So I don't spend money on myself is the point I'm getting to. And I don't want to go and do anything because I'm spending money that I don't have to spend. So we don't even go out on dates anymore. We stopped riding a motorcycle together because we had Jace. So I would let him go ride and I would watch the baby. I did get my motorcycle endorsement years and years and years ago, just because it was a challenge for me. It was something to do that I could feel good about after accomplishing, which I did, but I've never ridden a motorcycle by myself. I've always been a passenger. And we used to go up to North Carolina every October. We would go to the mountains up to North Carolina and ride on Blue Ridge Parkway. We would take our time and do the Tail of the Dragon. We don't speed down it at all. And we would stay in this really cool campground. Oh, I forgot the name of it. Oh, shoot. What was the name of it? I can't remember. But it was a cute little campground that had little bitty tiny cabins, just enough room for a bed and a nightstand, maybe 2 nightstands. And, you know, I think he had 1 or 2 big ones that had a bathroom. But otherwise, you had to go down to the bathhouse. But it was really cool for motorcycles. We used to go do that every October. We haven't done that in the last probably 3 years. And there's no telling when we'll get to do it now with the flooding and everything that happened up there. So we did go out on the motorcycle this past Saturday. There's a video up on that, which was a nice change of pace. And this week he's gone. He is in Naples, Florida for a work conference. He works for the state. And he does a lot of, he was EMS. He works for the state EMS patient movement. So when there's a hurricane or something like that going on, they arrange for the transportation for patients in facilities that are in evacuation zones. And they help get those patients moved out to a different facility outside of the flood zone. And then once the storm is over, they have to move these people back. And then with COVID, when COVID hit, they set up a lot of testing centers around town. And did the testing, and then when the injections were ready, they did those as well. So that's kind of what he does, and they are down in Naples for conference this week. And yeah, the state's paying for everything for that, so he didn't have to pay for anything. But he's gone all week, so I'm bored and kind of feeling down in the dumps, and I don't even know if I'm making any sense right now, y'all. I know I'm rambling. I do speak kind of monotone. I'm very aware of that, and I'm trying to change it. It's going to be a challenge for me. Like I said, that's why I started YouTube. I wanted to learn something new. I did start with another channel called Reality Slots with KC, and it's not doing very well. My nearest casino is Hard Rock Hotel Casino in Tampa, is the closest to me. And then there's another one down in Hollywood, and that's where the videos were filmed that you see on that channel. We went this past June for a conference there at the hotel. And so my sister and I and her fiance went, and we played some slots. And I tried to film some bonuses. I did not have permission to film at that point, so it was kind of difficult. I just kind of had to stay with they let you film your bonuses or your jackpots, and that's the only thing. But I did email and got permission to film at the Hard Rock Casino in Tampa, and so I'm hoping to go there next week. I want to take just $100 and go play some penny slots and maybe get some video content for that channel. But we'll see. We'll see how things are once we pay all the bills. But I can't compete with the those guys that are on YouTube that make $25, $50, $100, $150 bets. I just can't compete with that. There are some channels out there that do the low rolling or the penny slots, and they might bet 50 cents or $1, but they live in Vegas, so they can go do that every day and upload videos every single day. And you know, they have permission from all of those casinos up there so they can video. But I'm hoping that since I have permission now, I can take my tripod and, you know, get some different video angles and better footage. But I'm not sure I'm going to keep that channel, just because I can't afford to, really. I can't compete with those other channels at all. But we'll see. I may keep it. But that was another reason why I was kind of feeling down, is because I was really excited about starting on YouTube in my mid-50s and starting a channel. And it seemed to go okay for a little bit, and now it's just kind of fallen off by the wayside. And so I decided to start this channel without a niche, you know, a niche-free channel. So I can just kind of come on here and talk about anything that I want to, and do impromptu videos like the one tonight. And I'm also thinking that I'm going to start a crocheting channel, because I do a lot of crocheting. I've just got to get my camera set up for that, so that I can film from up above, you know, film what my hands are doing. So, I'll say film. There's no film anymore, it's record. Anyway, guys, I'm rambling on now, but I really thank you guys for listening. If you didn't watch this video all the way through, I don't blame you. I just really felt blah, and I wanted to just come on and make a video and, you know, see if you've ever felt that way, if you've ever gotten in the slumps like that and had to fight your way back out to get to your old life. And so leave me some suggestions down in the comments, and I will talk to you guys next time. And thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.